Well, hello there. I almost stopped the recording by pressing the wrong button. How is everyone doing? Welcome to the stream of all streams that's happening right now in this room. Of all the streams happening right now in this room, this is the one to attend. And I'll tell you why, because it's the only one. But I wanted to talk about game modules, because I've been working on that for the past many days when I haven't been doing the stuff like New Year's and other things. Hey, is it not on this list? Where is it? Usually it's near up the front. So I just went to infinity.pbr.com and clicked on the See All Assets button. That gets my affiliate link in there, and I always appreciate when people use the affiliate link. The asset store is really slow. I don't know why. It's just really slow. All the time. Earlier I actually was going to look at stuff, and then it did this, and I was like, I don't have time for this, so I left. Game modules. Look for the blue thing. I don't know. I guess people are buying other stuff, which is great, by the way. Always great. But the game modules, this is what we're talking about now. It's currently on version 3.5 point something. 3.5.3. Released just a few days ago. And then I've been working on the quests module. And in that process, it became clear to me that it was time for a bigger update. And so, did these things, and now I'm doing more, and the big update is big. It's going to be bigger, to the point where I'm wondering, is it really just a 4.0 update? And I think it's not. I think it's a 3.6 update, and then when I want to create a little like quick start thing, and maybe that'll be the 4.0 update. So I've been updating some of the stuff here. I've got work in progress. I've got some inline update notes here. Lots of release notes and stuff. Hello, Moonhaven. How are you today? I hope you're doing swell. And so let's see what we've got going on. Let me resize my windows because they're too big for the stream. All right, that's a good there. And this is my writer. I'm gonna make this bigger because I will forget. And probably, let me just close this whole, close all in this group. I was having two open at once because I have a large, wide monitor, and I was using it to the best of its ability. And this monitor needs to be different. All right. So, anyways, feel free, ask questions. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm going to just, I think, continue what I've been doing. I think, you know, as I went through this massive refactoring, which I'm still not really done with, and I'm sure there's little bits and pieces I've neglected or forgotten about. And I do want to at some point go through pretty much every single script in it and update and fix it up. But there's been a few bugs. I fixed those, which is neat that I've been able to fix them. But like this is a great example. This compute final stats method on the stats, the game stat. This is a very important method. This is the method that actually computes your final stats, and that's pretty much the center point of many of the game modules. So I refactored this down. It's now much smaller than it used to be. But I've also added these nice little instructions. You don't actually have to look at this. This happens behind the scenes. But if you do look at it, I want it to be as clear as possible. And so I've tried to even organize it with these nice little things up here and stuff. And where the big refactor includes that things like game stat, they used to inherit from just nothing. They were just a mono behavior. Now they inherit from game modules runtime object, as do game item object, game item attribute, game quest, game loot box. No, maybe not game loot box. That one's different. But the others do. And the reason being, now we have these nice handy methods and properties that are consistent throughout. So you know that each one is going to have a tick actions. You know that each one's going to have a set dirty. It might not always do something, but it's going to have it. You know that they all have dictionaries, therefore they all have an add dictionary key. A get key value has key value, and then of course dictionaries itself has its own additional, dictionaries, so here it is. Dictionaries itself, which I have not yet refactored, has its own additional options and methods that you can go for there. So that's basically what I've been doing. And I've been doing this for this. I've been doing it for the lists as well. So game quest list, for instance, is now a game modules list, and therefore it has a lot of it's got custom stuff, but it has everything now has an owner. Everything has a common link to a repository. They all have different repositories. Quest requires the quest repository, but now they all have .repository. So if you have any game modules list, stat list, so your stats.repository, quest.repository will get you to the right repository without having to type it all out. And so it's better that way. Custom properties, custom methods, and then all the override methods. So like adding something to the list, you can do that with a quest. You can do that with the UID of the quest. So this is still work in progress, but that means you can, everyone does something slightly different for the add. Then the receive transfer, because now there is a transfer to method. So you can now transfer to one list to another. So this is itself a game quest list. So now you can transfer to another game quest list, and then you can transfer the object, and then you can give a new owner. Although this needs to be changed because I just discovered before the stream started that owners, the concept of an owner was not standardized before, and now it's going to be. Every list is going to have an owner, and every object in that list is going to have an owner, and the owner should be the same owner as the list. So when we do the transfer, this doesn't matter. It's going to be the owner of the new list, and I've already put that somewhere. Maybe it's in the receive transfer. I don't know. Either way, we need to make sure it is. See, that's the only downside. Receive transfer. Receive transfer. Set owner to the receiver. Yeah, there you go. So there it is. But we need to make sure, and then we need to get rid of this whole new owner junk, because if you want it to be a different owner than the list it's in, you can set that. But I don't want it to be something that is normal. Hello, Joel. How are you? Yeah, because things go wrong if it doesn't have an owner. Like if you have stats without an owner, what's it going to update? It needs an owner. Anyways, so one thing I wanted to do with this owner thing was work on the idea that, hey, when you solve a quest, or you have a quest active, or when you have another thing active, then or a quest has failed, maybe there's a stat benefit or penalty therein. So I wanted to set that up in the demo scene. So this is the demo scene. We got random console things. I've got the demo scene up now for the quests. Let me clean up this a little bit. And we're going to create a new quest. Or rather, maybe we'll just add to a quest. We'll add to the quest. This is a puppy quest. You have to save the puppy before it dies, because it's a freaking puppy, and what's wrong with you? Why wouldn't you save it before it dies, you monster? And maybe when you solve this quest, your some hidden stat that talks about your likability goes up because you like puppies, and if you let it die like a monster, then your likability goes down. So I think what we can do is, well, let's start by creating those stats. So I'm going to create 2 stats here. We're going to create a folder. That's what we're going to start with. Create folder, and we're going to call this demo stats. All right, and so this is going to be, and we're going to call this quest demo stats, because this is going to be the type of the stats. So we're going to create game modules, create stat, and you can see the type is going to, oh, first let's name it. We're going to call this likability. And so you can see it's a quest demo stat, and then we're going to copy this, and we're going to call this sense. Oh, we're going to let Unity do its thing. Then we're going to call sense of urgency, because when you have the quest trying to save the puppy, your sense of urgency goes up, right? clearly. Create a new UID for that. All right, so both of these are going to be hidden stats. Where we're not going to, these aren't going to be something the player sees, but maybe in a game, if this were a real game, this affects other things, like how your likability is up, therefore more people like you, and if your likability is down, then all the bad guys like you, because they're monsters and they don't like puppies. And maybe your sense of urgency affects, I don't know, your walking speed or some crap like that. Probably not walking speed. I think that would be a bad game design mechanic, because everyone just wants to walk fast in games. So it wouldn't make sense to only have you walk faster when you have a higher sense of urgency. But maybe something else can come into play. But, you know, for this, it doesn't really matter. So, let's see. So our main settings, it can be modified. Both of these can be modified. The quest is going to modify these in various ways. They can't be trained, so we're going to ignore that. We're going to start with, say, 100 points of likability and 100 points of urgency. I think that's just, you know, what we're going to do. Minimum of 0 for each, and we'll say a maximum of 200 for each. You can't get more than 200 likability, and you can't get more than 200 sense of urgency. We're never going to reach those values in this demo, but we'll do that anyways. And actually, what we should really be doing is the final stat should be clamped to those values. So we don't need the maximum there. We don't need the minimum there. Maybe we can have the minimum points there, but not the maximum. We'll do the maximum at the end. So just in case other things affect well, actually, the effect will come in the base value here. So let's say your likability goes down if you don't save the puppy because you're a monster. So you're gonna have 100 points, and then your base value is gonna be -10. Base value and base proficiency are the value that can be affected. Where points is like a counter, and that doesn't get affected by other things unless you're specifically using the stat as a counter, like gold or experience or level or something like that. And then the final stat that gets spat out of the system will be between 0 and 100, and we will round to whatever, to 0 decimal places, just for shits and giggles. And that should be it for those things. This demo doesn't have other stats, so we're not going to have these stats affect other stats. You could have them affect other stats in this panel over here, but for this we just want to see how quests themselves can affect stats and build that out, because I haven't built that out yet, and that's going to be exciting. All right. Oh my gosh, you know, I stayed up till 5:30 in the morning on New Year's Day. I don't know why. I have a few videos that help explain what I did, and it was, I guess, fun. We were just two of us just talking and yelling at Alexa because Alexa kept playing Britney freaking Spears. Even though you'd ask Alexa to play a different song, and Alexa would. But you know what? She'd also be playing Britney Spears at the same damn time. So there'd be two songs playing. And you know what she did? Not listened. That's what she did. She wouldn't listen. So we had to unplug her, plug her back in, say, Alexa, play party music. Okay, here's a station you might like. Party music. And it's freaking Britney Spears again. Yeah. It was a good time. Happy New Year, everyone. All right. Oh, there was an error. I wonder what that was about. Oh, well. So we got these two here. So now we're going to go back to our quests here and look at our group quest for Rescue the Puppy. I haven't built this out yet. And and the thing is, there are 3 states of the quest. There's in progress, there's complete, or successful, I should say. Not there, complete is a state, but there's really, that's not. It's more like I don't know how to define it. There's 3 states. There's successful, failed, failure, and in progress. So either, hello, Classic Shades, either you successfully completed the quest, you failed and completed the quest. A failed quest is a complete quest. A successful quest is a complete quest, and an in progress quest is not a complete quest. So those are the 3 states, and I would like to have stats be affected depending on the state. So right now, we only have one panel here. So if I say likability or sense of urgency, whichever one I find first, sense of urgency, I can add that here, and I can affect the base value. So we give it 10, And this is being a little sluggish, but okay. So we've got our base value here. It's 10. Alexa has Skyrim. Hello for the 2. Oh, this is, I mean, I have to say, I started game modules a year and a half ago, maybe, or so, give or take. It's on the asset store, so it's probably whenever it was first published was when I, shortly before that is when I first started it. But um, a lot's happened in the last 10 days. I need to figure out how to quit my job because I'd be so much more productive if I didn't have to work all day. And then at night be tired from having to work all day at a job that apparently I like, but something about it. All right, so this is not enough because I want to know whether this is supposed to happen at failure, at success. Likability is going to increase if you're successful, and it's going to decrease if you're not successful. So, we need to have 3 different versions here. So let's figure out how to do that. We have our... Let me just close other tabs. We have our game quest. And we probably should have our quest up as well. This one's a work in progress, so some of these notes mean nothing. Others mean I need to do something, or think I might need to do something. Okay. So, IFX stats exist, which is great. And for things that affect stats, we have modifiers, modifications, stat modifications. Here we go. So, stat modification and modification level modifications. Interesting. So, Alright. So this is where the quest has a modification level. It has only 1. But I suppose we could have 3. Let me think about the architecture here. So we have a few options. We could have modification level. We could do this. We could do and have modification level in progress, modification level for failure, and success. Or we'll do succeeded and failed to do past tense. We could have 3 different modification levels, and then down here, directly effects, we could look at the status and then go from there. Which, I mean, the problem is this is it's got to fit with the game. Get modification levels. Modification level. Okay. And modification level right now, I probably haven't set any of this up. Yeah. My mute button is working again. That's nice. So I probably haven't set this up at all. So right now, it's just gain nothing. This is the game version. This is the in-game version that will be used in the game. And generally for the modification levels for like the quest item objects, that's immutable. It doesn't change during the game. So it calls the parent, which is in this case the quest, scriptable object. It doesn't change during the game. And it says, hey, parent, what's your modification level, which is all those modifications. And it gets it that way. So if we have 3 on the parent, then I suppose this is on the quest, and there's no attributes. I suppose that means that we could parse it out here, have the 3 on the quest itself, and then say serve it based on the status, because when we say modification level, and we say get modification level, 1 usage. Where is it used? It says 1 usage, but here it's all here, probably because it's inheriting, I guess. Game quest modification level. Wait a minute. Ah, I see. So modification level gets the modification level. This is where we can pass it in. So instead of doing that, we will say well, there's going to be 3 options. So this is probably going to be a switch statement, and let's let Writer do that for us because I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, the syntax for that. So we're going to say if status, yeah, equals in progress, then if it is equal to in progress, then return parent. Whoops, parent dot. How come parent isn't set up yet? Parent dot. Why isn't parent set up yet? We should have parent set up. Interesting. Did I not set this up yet? Let's see. Go to file. Game item object. Parent. We have parent here. I guess I haven't set it up yet. Alright, let's do that. Alright, code time, folks. So don't forget to like and subscribe for the fun code time. This is actually going to be pretty interesting, in my opinion. I'm going to bring this over here. This is how I've been doing it. It's a little copy-paste, because a lot of them do the exact same thing in various spots, but sometimes they don't. So we're going to start with a connection to the parent object. So let's copy that over and slap this on here. It's going to be game, there's quest. So quest parent is the quest parent. Parent is going to be the repository. Oh, I think I found that I can't really do that. So quest repository. Why do we not have it? Oh, interesting. Using static Infinity PBR modules.quest repository. So now we can just do quest repository. There we go. Get by UID, base.uid. Is UID not even set up? What are we doing here? Oh, I'm on modification level. This is not right. Alright. Undo. Undo, 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 undo. Undo, undo. Alright. I should be here. Alright. That's better. My apologies. And we don't have the right thing. So using static infinity.modules. Oh, yes, we do. It's right there. Alright, so maybe I'm cray. We are using the right thing, but we do need to still copy this over. So how do you guys feel about this use of this very bright green stars and stuff to designate major sections of the code? I like it, but yeah, maybe. Alright, parent and parent. This is probably same name as already declared. Good, so we'll just delete that. It's the same thing. Quest, not rewards, repository. We still need to do actual rewards too. So there's going to be these stats are going to be the ongoing benefit, like because you have this stat or this quest in your list and it's complete, you get this ongoing benefit that's just there forever. But there's going to be an opportunity to do one-time benefits as well, whether it be giving someone an item, giving them another quest, giving them a condition, giving them a permanent stat boost, whatever it might be. Although the permanent stat boost should come from what we're doing right now. But maybe we'll give them experience, which is like a point effect on a stat called experience that's used as a tracker. Stuff like that. Alright, so we got parent base UID. Alright, let me just put a lot of things here. Members unique for this. Alright, so these are going to be things that aren't being overridden or anything like that. And I don't know which ones necessarily go in there quite yet. There's going to be a lot of refactoring going on. And apparently this one I didn't do all the other things. I still have my old version up there. But more to do on everything. But members unique for this type. What do we got here? Quest steps. Yes, these are all These are all unique for this. So we'll just... I don't know why I'm copy pasting them. They're all right here, but I did. Modification levels are unique for this. Not every object has modification levels. Well, do they all have modification levels? I don't know. I guess they kind of do. So maybe it's not unique to this type. We can load up GameStat. GameStat was the first one I redid, and so it's more organized. We have the constructor. We'll put the constructor up here underneath all those. All right. Constructor. Where is our constructor? Do we have a constructor? Did I create a constructor? I should have a constructor. Is there one? See how much longer this is? At the end, we'll see how much shorter it is, because right now it's a lot of lines. It's 550 lines. This is going to be a little bit bigger than the others, but still. Here we are, constructor. All right, let's move this up. Delete that. Move this up to up here. All right, and where are we? Okay, so blah 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 blah. It's doing stuff. It's creating game ID. Yeah, set UID to the parent. Yep, see, version 3.6. Now we're using this method to get the UID instead of .uid all lowercase. That's gonna break some projects, and I apologize for that. I couldn't figure out how to gently refactor that for everybody, but yeesh. Game ID creates a new game ID if it doesn't already exist, and for this it won't, so it creates a new one. Subscribes to the Blackboard if we are subscribing to the Blackboard, otherwise we return. Okay, that should be fine. The constructor shouldn't have anything wrong with it. What comes after the constructor in my nice organized thing is override methods. Alright. I feel like I'm missing non-override methods, but maybe I had that down somewhere else. Anyways, override methods. Quest points, returns all quest points. All loot box objects from a quest thing to a single list. We'll put these up here. Okay. Give reward. That's non-override. Where are overrides? Override, override, override. We have, no, just the tick actions? And set dirty? Alright, well, fair enough. We'll put these up where they belong. And we'll copy all that, and we will do after set dirty. Custom methods for this type. Alright, so we are going to do set dirty, actually. I think set dirty will make sense because we're going to be doing stats. And so what we're really saying is, hey, on this owner, if they have stats, then set the stats dirty that this quest may affect. The quest itself doesn't become dirty. It's the stats that this affects becomes dirty. So what we will need to do is deal with this later, because that's too soon. We're not ready for that step yet. All right, give rewards. This is just yeah, reduce stat reward. We haven't done that yet. Get quest. This is no longer used. So this is basically getting the parent, and so this should just get parent now. And so these should get parent now. So quest parent dot sequential. All right. So anywhere we have quest dot step quest dot just quest dot. So we're just going to comment this out and see the errors. And get quest, we'll look for that and get rid of that as well. We are not using that, and we are not using that. All right, where are the errors? Up here. And down here. Uh-oh. Oh, that's where I was actually doing the coding. All right, there we go. So what was I doing here? There, we got parent now, so it's working. So parent dot mastery modification levels in progress. Okay, so that's not going to throw an error anymore. All right, so we've gotten some stuff done. How many lines were we? We were at 550. Now we're at a few lines less. That's nice. All right. Modification level is going to get the correct modification level. Modification levels is essentially not used here because there's only one. Modification level game quest list. This is going to be, excuse me, the list that this is part of, I suppose. Why do I have this? Parent list. Remove on expiration without succeed. That's why. Okay, yeah, we do need that. Because it needs to be able to remove itself. There's a one option for the quest. There are many options for the quest, but one of them is that, hey, if the quest expires, it doesn't have to fail. Maybe it just disappears, so you no longer have it. And so this is a case where it needs to know its own list that it's in order to do that. And that means that when we transfer it, we also need to set that. So what we really need is we need to do a game quest list equals parent list. So it's going to be public or private. Public, private. We can make it private void set parent list, and it's going to take in a list of game it's going to take a game quest list, new list, or say value, and then inside this we're going to say game quest list equals value, and that's good. And so now we can set that later, and up here in the constructor, instead of doing that, we'll do set list parent list. And then there's this tangent because I found something that was going to be a bug if I didn't find it. So set parent list is parent list. Now whenever we transfer it, we need to set the parent list. So transfer to, well, let's see, we don't have, that's going to be in the game quest list itself. So receive transfer and is going to so when we receive a transfer, we need to set the list. So and then we'll do that here. So it's going to be on the new object. Why is there a new object even? Because we're transferring the object. So oh, I see, because we might make a clone of it, we might not. I see. Okay, might not. So transfer object, set owner, receiver, and then we can say transfer object dot set parent list to be this, and this is why we need it to be public. All right, so set parent list to this, and that should be good there. I believe everything else should be creating a new one. Add creates a new one. So the constructor's used. Transfer to uses the receive transfer. So we'll do it in receive. Remove that. So we're good there. That should solve that potential bug. Oh my God, Shadow Soul Studio, you are late. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm sure you had very important things to do. I don't want to go work tomorrow. I've been dreading to see what time my first meeting is. All right. I just read a text message, so I got sidetracked once again. All right. Check my meetings tomorrow. Freaking meetings tomorrow. Of course. Oh, that's too bad. Of course, there's one meeting at 8 to 8:45 and 3 meetings from 8:30 to 9. We're going to say no to this one and yes to this one and no to that one. Oh, wait. Well, mother effer. And no to this one. Oh, that one she already said no to, so that's good enough. All right. Whatever. Anyways, so we are now going... Oh, people stopped watching while I was looking at my meetings for tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I should not do that. All right, so we should be good now on this for now. We'll find out more bugs later. All right, so the idea was, I think it does make sense to do the modifications like that, to have 3 different sets, and then the inspector here we'll just have 3 different tabs for modifications for the types from each one. Ha ha ha! You think I can make people work twice as fast? It's actually yeah, I think it's just the workplace politics and stuff that gets to me. I like what I do, and I'm good at it if you ask me, but it's just all these people who don't know what they're talking about, second guessing and not listening to data. It's like, data, here's data. Look at this line. It goes a certain direction. What does that tell you? And they say, it tells us we should do something that isn't the right idea. And I'm like, all the data says we should do the opposite of what you just said. And all of our postmortems say exactly what I just said. And they're like, I don't know. I used to work at some other place that has nothing to do with what we're doing now. Anyways, the people are nice otherwise. So what we're going to do is refactor as we go, but we're going to look for the modification levels. Where are they? Modification level. So modification level, this is going to be the one source of truth. And get modification level. So if the status is that, then that. So we'll do 3 things. And failed and succeeded. Modification level succeeded. Modification level failed. And now we can give a nice switch expression. Look at that. I could have written that. Return status switch. Yep. Yep. And instead we're going to return a new modification level. Yeah, so basically what we're saying, return the outcome of this switch. If it's in progress, return the one in progress. If it's failed, return the one failed. If it's succeeded, return the succeeded one. Otherwise, just return an empty one, and that means nothing will happen, basically. Oh, I've been watching some stuff about how CEOs are like dictators. And so yeah, so this should work just fine. And now let's figure out how to make it pretty here. We've got 1, we need 3, and we need a nice little thing like this. But I think I found a better way of doing this. Maybe. What is this talking to? I wish I knew where this was coming from. I don't know if it matters. It can be cleared out, so it really doesn't matter. But date time UI text, I don't know what that is referring to. Date time UI text. Do I have something? I do. Okay. Date time UI text. What is this? Update text. Is that what is missing? Expensive. Oh. It's just about indentation. If setup, then update text. Okay, there must be something on time board follower. Ah, we have set up on the time board follower. I see. So we don't need that here. All right, so now it's protected, which means its derived classes can use it. All right. So time board follower, I've actually updated the game time to be this time board, which has both game time and a blackboard on it, and it will automatically send stuff to its own blackboard, and anyone can subscribe to the time board's blackboard or just peek at it and see what time it is or the pause level, so you can get the events from it. I don't work for a game dev as a living. Well, I mean, I guess this is my side job, so if enough of you actually, you know, buy this, then certainly I could do it as a living. But this is Game Modules is a project because I went onto the good old asset store. So if you go to infinitypbr.com, click on the see all assets, you'll see all the assets that I make, and I make the assets really kind of for me. But Game Modules is one that I started making because I couldn't find a framework for a big RPG that I liked, because they were all very opinionated, and they required you to do things the way they did stuff, and I didn't like that. And so the Game Modules, it can be used for an RPG and a fantasy game, but it doesn't have to be. It can be used for any game. And the idea is that it allows you to do things, and then you can figure out how to display it. You can figure out all that stuff. The only one, actually, that isn't like that is very opinionated is the inventory system, and that's this drag and drop inventory. Whoops, this drag and drop inventory system. That's very opinionated. If you don't want a drag and drop inventory system like that, then you're not going to use it. Pub subclass. What's a pub subclass? So there you go. So yeah, so Game Modules, this is not my day job. It's my side job. It's not making enough money to be my day job, but one day maybe it will, and in that day I will quit my day job. My day job is related to game development, very heavily related, but it unfortunately is not actually making games and all that fun stuff. So there you go. All right, so we should be good here. So this is all, since I was talking about the time board, let's just look at it real quick. So this is the time board. We have a blackboard on it, and we have a time board on it, and the time board has game time. So you can set game time here, and you can choose now whether to send events on the various things. So here we're sending events on anytime the pause level changes, or a minute, hour, day, etc. Any of these major milestones change, then it will have an event will be sent out, and the event makes it really easy, because now if you have something that cares about, like, you know, you want every midnight, every time the day changes, you want a little chime to sound or something, then you can just listen to the event and not do anything, and then ooh, that happens, and boom. So it's going to be more efficient than it was before, and easier to manipulate. But what's neat is now when we press play, we have all those sending it to the blackboard, and it's also going to send the now time. So if you can see time going up here. Right now we have it to be 1 minute per 3 in-game seconds, which is why this goes to 3, and then this goes up by 1. These are minutes. And so now we've got our blackboard. Oh, it's not writing any notes. All right, well, yeah, I mean, you could probably override this if you want to write notes to it. Yeah, because the problem is you can just do timeboard.gametime/now is now. So anyways, it's doing that, and it's going to do all this stuff, and it's being posted right here. And so this is basically, it's hard to see. I'm sorry, it's hard to see. was... I think this version doesn't have the button I'm looking for. Is that... Did they change it on me? They probably changed it on me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, so this goes up every minute, and now this is listening to that event. So this doesn't actually do anything unless something changes, and then it will rewrite the new time. And this pulls from game time. This is just formatting game time. I didn't have to do anything special. Game time, the time board just does this for me, and I just spit out what it gave me. And there's some different options for the formatting as well if you want to fiddle with that. Anyways, the point is that's game modules. So it's available right now, and this is just the major update that's going to have quests and do all this refactoring stuff. So it should be wonderful. It will require some people to change their current coding, though, I think, and I feel bad for that. I really do. And it's on me because I don't necessarily know how to do updates in the best practices way, because I am still learning like many of you. Where are we? All right, so we have, I know where we are. We are looking at our quests, group quests, rescue the puppy, and we have our things, our to-do match stats and skill. What's this? Object, quest object editor, match stats and skills. Why do we need to match stats and skills? Match, let me close this. Close this so we can see more. Match settings with other objects of this type. All share the same settings, i.e. all turned on, otherwise all stay off. Okay, for dictionary that is correct, and it's already doing it. But for stats and skills, I don't think quest objects of this type. Don't think we need to do that at all, so we'll ignore it for now. Dictionaries it does that because you have to every quest object of the type demo group quest will have the same dictionaries, so when you manage the structure of the dictionaries, they all need to be matched. But for this, that's not the case. So I think that's erroneous. All right, but we need to have 3 of these. So let's look at our editor object, and this is going to be quest object editor, which I have up and visible right now. So there you go. All right, I'm gonna let's organize this a little bit. I want to be able to see, and I can bring it. I don't think it needs to be quite that wide, so I want to be able to see that and writer at the same time, so we can kind of see what we're looking at and what we're working on. Oh, I taught you about anonymous switch statements today. That's good. You know who taught me about that? Writer taught me about that yesterday or the day before, because yeah, and then I looked. There were 2 different versions of the switch statements, and I went to I went over to good old Chat GPT, and I asked it what the difference was, and it told me the one we just used is new in C# 8.0. Chat GPT, I will say, has helped me. It also introduced some bugs that I had to fix. So Chat GPT is not a god. It is simply a very nice tool that can be very helpful, but you have to know what you're asking, and you have to know how to interpret what you're getting, because I looked at it and it looked right, but I will be honest, the stuff that I got that had bugs was a little confusing. It was definitely shorter code than I had written, and it looked right, and it looked like it was a recursive method, and it looked like it was gonna do the job, but it wasn't, because the ChatGPT failed 2 things. One, it failed to add the original object, which was important, and then also it failed to recognize that the order that objects were added to a list mattered, and by doing it in the wrong order, it messed things up. So I had to fix those bugs earlier today. But otherwise, ChatGPT is pretty cool, and I've learned a lot about just how to make things smaller and other things. Anyways, all right, that was a sidetrack. Let's go back to doing what we were doing. We got the 3 things here, so we're gonna look for stats, and this is gonna be show stats, button code, show stats. This is the button code up there. Show our buttons, and so we are going to see show stats. If show stats, show stats, show stats. All right, here we are. Oh, we have a drawer. What happens if we do 3? I think the drawer it's clearly not including the header. It's going to be probably the copy, yeah. So copy, copy, copy. So, okay. So instead of doing this, what we can do is, let's see what it looks like if we just do it 3 different times. We'll do this, this, and this. Let's just see what that looks like. Does it look dumb? Does it look like it needs spaces? It probably will need a space. I should, and maybe a different vertical box for each one. Probably should have just, yeah, that's definitely. All right, so what we need is to do this in top of this, this on top of this, and this on the bottom of this, and this on the bottom of that. So we'll just do it 3 times, see if that looks good. I have no idea. I know I saw a video from Jason Wyman years and years ago about new in C#7, and I was like, oh, I didn't even at the time I had no idea that that was even a thing. It makes sense, of course, it's a thing, but that Unity, you know, is always a version or 2 behind or something like that. I know you shouldn't trust it yet, but I can't wait for the time where the chatbot is something I can literally just talk to and be like, hey, this code right here, can I make this smaller? And then it will just pop up a thing saying, this is how you could make it smaller, but what are you trying to achieve? Or depending on what you're trying to achieve. So it's going to be, the future's going to be really neat, I think. We'll see. Alright, so this is not so bad. It's, however, long, and I think we need buttons for it. So what we need to do is have a header section, and then we'll do that. And so I think, gosh, where did I find it? It was in my quests. There's some new code that, not new, it's not new, it's just new for me. New code for me. This one right here, game source ID. See these? I want to use this for those. I want to use that for these up here now too, but another day. So game ID source. This is going to be in quest steps. We'll say game ID source. There it is. It's this bar options thing. And I think I'm going to use this. And now go back here, and we're gonna whoops. We're gonna say stats. Okay, so we're gonna stick this here for now, and we're going to put a private bool up here, hide inspector, and public bool. Quest stats state equals game request step dot stats dot in succeeded. All right, we'll start with the succeeded. Oh, yeah, we can't do that. All right, we'll start in the succeeded state, and we will start with in progress and succeeded and failed And I'm going to do something really cool. Once I get this working, I'm going to do something cool and make it... Oh, yes, it is both of those things. And I'm going to add this to my fancy-dancy little helper scripts to make it easier to set this up. But once... I'm going to do that only once we get looking right. All right, so toolbar options going to be toolbar... It's an int. Oh. All right, so revert a little bit here. This is going to be an int. Int. And we're just going to make it a 2. Fair enough. All right, so it's going to be this, right? This state, and then this state is going to be the toolbar option. Width will be 300 for now, and let's see how this looks. Ah, there we go. What if we don't put it in a width? What happens? Does it just fill the void? Because I think that's pretty much why I want it to do. I want it to just fill the void, right? As a header type thing. Yeah. That's prettier. I like that. So what we're gonna do a little helper box up here, and we're gonna do so it's gonna be message box, and we're gonna say each quest can have an ongoing impact on the stats of the owner. You can set different impacts based on the status of the quest. To add ongoing changes while a quest is live, or is, we'll say, in progress, or ongoing buffs or penalties if the quest has succeeded or failed. Hold on 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Alright, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to do a message type is going to be a nice little info. And that should give us a nice separation there, and also give people a little thing to read and to understand why there's going to be 3 different ones. There we go. And then we will also do this. Well, we don't want to repeat things 3 times, so what we're going to do is say private void show. What are we showing? Modifications, and we're going to pass in the modification level. And we will paste that there and put this right here. And then that should be good. And we also need the string header, and this is going to be something else, so we'll put header. Alright, and then for this we will do if this dot quest state status equals, actually maybe we'll just do show modifications, and then we will do, okay, do it like this: var modification level equals this quest state status. I don't even know. There's so many different ways to do it. I don't know which one's my favorite way to do it. equals 0. Then we will do modification level, this dot modification level in progress. Oops, it's supposed to be a question mark. Otherwise, if this, see, it just needs to be a switch statement. Let's just do the switch statement, okay? Let's see if I can remember. Okay. Or, god damn it. Okay, we'll just do it basic for now, and then we'll fix it up there. If quest state status state equals 0, then we're gonna do show modifications with passing in our this dot modifications in progress and in progress, and then we will do 2 more of these. Sometimes you just gotta not overthink it. Succeeded and failed, like a failure. Modification level failed and modification level succeeded, and we can delete all that. And now let's see what it looks like. Hello, adjacent story. Switch and press tab twice. Hey, look, it doesn't work right. Neat. I probably have, oh, yep, 1, 2. Oops, 1 and 2. Alright, so let's see what Jason's story says here. Switch, tab, expression. What's expression supposed to be? Maybe this, and then case 0? No. Okay, case 0. I was close. Okay, case 0. That break. Alright. Case 1 and 2. Alright, there we go. I learned a thing, or I guess I already knew it, but now I'm reinforcing a thing. I do prefer to type the things in that I'm trying to learn because of the muscle memory junk. Okay, there we go. Oh, I see. Well, I was able to figure out what it meant, I suppose. So there we go. All right, that's nice. That's prettier. I like it. It's a fairly laggy editor script, but that's okay. All right, now I want to add this. Actually, I should probably. I don't even know. I can't add that. Okay, I want to add this to my editor thing. So if we go up here, we have these module scriptable object editor, which is Infinity Editor Modules, or where am I calling my... Oh, editor utilities. That's where I have all this junk. And switch. Alright, so this thing is going to be a toolbar, and the toolbar is going to have an array of string options, an int that is the current value, and a width, an optional width. So let's try this. Where should I throw it? Editor utilities, or is it something else? This seems like not the right one. Let's see. Where's my message box? Infinity Editor. There it is. Yeah, editor utilities is for the game modules, where Infinity editor is agnostic to game modules. So we can just throw it somewhere here. Buttons, labels, etc. Buttons sound about right. So let's do it after buttons. All right. Public static void toolbar. And let's see, we're going to need string array. String array. We'll just say strings, I guess. That's what it suggested. We need a int value, and we need a int width. And that's going to be equal to -1. And it's going to return an int. And so we're going to return that here. And then we need our value here. And our options are going to be strings here. Wait a minute. What's going on? We don't need that. We do need this to be here. Why is this giving... I'm confused. This is the int, and this is the strings toolbar. Strings, hey. Strings int width. I don't know why. Alright, so strings value width. It's odd that what would I call it? I can't call it. Oh, duh. Wait, look at me. Look at me. Of course. That's why, because it's calling itself. Yeah. GUI layout.toolbar. There we go. There we go. Here I come, Miss America. All right. Where are options here? Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna do value strings and return that. So this is what we'll do. We'll do if width is less than 0, then we'll return that. Otherwise, we will return that with the width right here. That didn't work. What am I doing over here? Wait a minute. Did I already... What the heck am I doing? All right, let's go back. Let's refer back. I've clearly confused myself. That's game ID source. Wrong script. This is toolbar. Let me toolbar. Name this my toolbar. And then we will go back here and say, what does this refer to? Holy shit, I had one already? Well, one can always be surprised by oneself, I suppose. I already had this in editor utilities, which is not where it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go in Infinity editor. And I wonder, will I break everything if I just move it over? Plus, I can do it better now. Ooh, Jesus. So, All right, I'm gonna finish it up here, and oh my goodness, GUI layout toolbar. Okay, yeah, and then well, we'll fix. Where is it being used? Let's see what happens if we just do that. Let's just see how many things break in the world. Is it only here? Quest condition drawer. Gotta do the width right. All right. So it looks like I'm not going to break anything because I thought I never did this before because I've never used it before. We'll have to figure out why is this doing this? Is this not? It's probably not using Infinity Editor. Using static Infinity PBR Infinity Editor. I might be breaking everything right now. I don't even know. No, I renamed it back. I renamed it back from that. 29 inheritors. So all of these inherit it. Pretty much all my editors, but not my drawers. How do they inherit it? Module scriptable editor, Infinity Editor modules. Infinity Editor scriptable object is Infinity. Oh, I see. Okay. So what then I can do, I think, is go here and say where T? No. Can I just say Infinity Editor? No. Can I do that? I don't know. You know what? This is what got me into this in the first place. That I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so I just probably did something in both places. I can't for the life of me remember why I even need this. I think it's because I'm using it in both scriptable objects and not scriptable objects. But it's grayed out, which it's where it's never used. If I just live dangerously and just go like this, does everything break? That's an interface. Maybe it's supposed to go before that. Ah, that's why it's supposed to go before that. Maybe. Alright. Let's just try to remember what we've been doing this whole time. Alright. It looks like I just don't need this at all. Maybe I do. Feel like I've screwed myself and I'm gonna have to click undo 1.5 billion times. I'm not sure why this matters. Oh, I see. The where is not in relation to Infinity Editor. I got it. All right, that's why. All right, I think we're almost done with this mumbo jumbo. I just need to fix all these because I did it in the wrong order before. I was literally doing this not realizing that I had made a toolbar, and if I would just realize I wasn't putting the editor GUI or editor layout in front of it, then oops. Every time I say that I sound like the Texas governor in that debate, for those of you who follow American politics from back in the day, and he said oops because he couldn't think of like some name or something. And there we go. Okay, now where are our bugs that we need to fix now? I don't know why I did that. I really hope, I mean, it's going to affect other projects because I use Infinity Editor in a lot of things, but I don't know why I had a generic in there. There was probably a reason at some point, but it seems like this, like maybe it is not, but man, I am clicking a lot of buttons right now, and if there's like 1,000,000,001 errors, alright, there's no errors. These still work. This was supposed to be puppy, did not. Oh, this one's still super laggy. I gotta fix that. Should, okay, good. It should cache that and go back to puppy. Okay, it did. I don't know why it wasn't there. Alright, rescue the puppy stats. Okay. Alright, it's working now. That was one hell of a tangent. I deserve some iced tea for that. Yum. Unsweetened iced tea. Alright. So now this should be good. We should be ready to set this up. So let's just, when we're in progress, we have our sense of urgency go up. So we'll add that and we'll just give it a little boost of, say, 10. And then if it's exceeded, we're going to, ooh. Well, that's different. Okay. Why is it saying there's no stats? Let's figure that out. Alright, let's go back to the code. We're going back to the code. Where we're going, we don't need wheels. Alright. Which script am I on? There's too many. I've got too many scripts now. We don't need those. We don't need that. We don't need that anymore. 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 We don't need that. I probably closed the one we needed. Maybe not. Let's see. Oh, yes, I did. Quest, drawer, stat, modification, drawer. Editor. That's the one I needed. There are no modifiable stats available. Why? A modification level modifiable stats equals 0. Somewhere we cache this value, and maybe we don't cache it here. Quest object modifiable stats. Maybe we do. If it's null, cache the stats right to this object. At what point do we cache it? Cache this. Where do we cache this? In all sorts of places. We cache it. We draw add stat pop-up. We cache it when we draw. Ah, made cache. So it's a private bool. All right, we're gonna do a new private, or we'll do public void cache, and we're gonna do a bool force equals false, and we will do all this in the cache, and we will have to pass in our two things here, I suppose, as well. And then here we will do if not made cache, then we will do cache and pass in modification level and pass in this object. Alright. And then we can now call this from elsewhere. Maybe. We'll see. So now in our toolbar, interesting. You know what's funny is I totally said I was going to make this smaller, and then I got in that whole kerfuffle about how I already did it, and I didn't make it smaller. But I still can make this smaller. But I'm not going to. I could just make it toolbar and take in a new thing of that. I mean, we could put the bar options, I guess. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked again. I should not get sidetracked again. Okay, show all stats and skills return. So I am going to cache this value. Now we're going to say var cached option is going to be this .quest stat state, and then if this quest stat state is not equal to the cached option, then we will do we can do it down here. Int cached option. So we'll just pass that cached option here, here. And then we will say this down here. Then we're going to do the modification level dot cache. Is that not? Oh, the drawer. This is what we're doing. The drawer will do dot cache. Was that? Is that not what? Oh, it's in the editor. Shoot. How about this? We'll do made cache equals false. Maybe that'll work. Maybe this needs to be made public. Nope. Because this is on this. Okay, well then, maybe that's an interface, so we can't do that there. Well, hell. Well, we can use the old editor prefs for this. We can say set bool force cache and true. Alright, so we're going to set a bool there, and then this is our string. I'll just copy that. And then over here, we're going to say if we haven't made cache or get bool that, then we'll do the cache. Okay, so then we'll have to set the bool here to be in set bool false right here. Alright, that should do the trick. Good old editor prefs. The this column, the this confuses you. What did I call it before? I used to call it script, and that was confusing to me. So now I say this is the thing I'm editing. The thing that I am making the editor for. What would you call it, Jason? If not this or something else. This being the thing that we are editing or in the editor. The quest object. And I don't want to call it quest object because I want it to be the same for every one of my editors. Alright. Did this work? It looked like it worked because that was showing there. Alright. Good. So sense of urgency should be an option here. Sense of urgency. And I'm not going to have that. We're instead going to do a likability. So if we've succeeded, we're going to add likability. And we're going to give us a good old-fashioned 10. 10 likability points for saving that cute puppy. And now, likability shouldn't be here, correct? Because I've already added it. And it should be here because I haven't added it. See that? Nice. Alright. So now we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it here and this one and say it's going to be a big old fat -10 because you didn't save the puppy. You monster. Alright, so that should be good. I just saved and that should save it unless something's not working with my set dirty, which is sometimes the case. Current object could be item or context, though may defaults to target. Could be target. Target would be fine. Maybe one day I will refactor and do target. I think of all those options, target speaks the best to me. And I can see how this might confuse someone when this generally refers to the thing you're actually on rather than the thing it's editing. Target makes sense. Hello, Oliver. How are you today? I hope you had a wonderful New Year. Okay. So let's make this work now. So now we've got these active in the thing, and now we have our method that we were talking about way back in the day. I'm talking about like hour ago, which was the game quest and the get modification level. So now we're going to get the right modification level. That's this data right here, and everything else will be automatic at this point pretty much because well, sort of. I need to set up a little thing. We need to go to our player here, our demo player. By the way, part of this big update, and I'm going to make a nice demo player that has all of this stuff built in because it confuses even me sometimes. And, I mean, generally because I don't look at it for a few weeks and I go back and I'm like, what? But it does confuse me. So we're going to go to our player. Demo data. What is our player? Our player is a players. Oh, it's just a version of this. Okay, so we have stats, get other levels. So in our get other levels, other modification levels equals that other modification levels add range. That's not very descriptive, this other modification levels. Oh, player get other levels. Wait, what? I do it differently now. This is... Okay. Add range conditions. Oh, never mind. I'm just reading it wrong. Maybe I'm just tired. All right. So what we're doing here is now going to be quests. Get modification levels. And that is part of the reason why I'm standardizing all this. This was a case already. These two were standardized, but that way every list of game modules is going to have the same shit, including get modification levels. Maybe in some cases it doesn't do anything. Hey, Decay, how are you? Glad to have you on the stream. We're going to look at this and see our game quest list. Make this a var. I've been trying to do that when I see it. Okay, new list, blah, blah, blah. For each in the index, get the modification levels and return it. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want to do. And I believe I switched it to a 4 because I read somewhere, ChatGPT, that this is slightly faster than a for each. Something about the for each creates another list in order to operate, where this does not create another list. So in most cases, it does not really matter. But if you're calling it a lot, or if there's maybe it's a list really big, but I think really if you're just calling it a lot, then for eaches might be less efficient. So if it matters, and so I was like, well, I guess it doesn't look as pretty. It's not as easily readable, but it should do the trick. So this is going to go through add to this for every item in the list. It's going to add the modification levels, and modification levels will get modification levels and give us the one we are based on the status we're at. And for many of them, it might be nothing at all. So that should just work. Which is great. And I think the other thing is we need to make sure that the players have the stats. So the player starting stats, we're going to add 2 more here. We're going to do likability. And we're going to do, what was it? Sense of urgency. I love that stat, your sense of urgency. And then we're going to spit them out somewhere so we can see it go up and down, I suppose. So this is a good example of the blackboard. We can use the blackboard for this. Somewhere in here I have a thing, demo player blackboard. And what is this? This is not actually a blackboard. It's a blackboard manager. So we'll just call it that. Do start actions. So the start actions, it just gives add conditions note. Yeah, so that adds a note to the blackboard. Let's see what happens when we do add stat readouts to blackboard. I don't actually know if this is exactly the right way that I want to do it, but it might be. So we're going to say wait, I want to read what Jason's writing. Yeah. Good to have you on as another game developer, Decay. For each, it's actually a wrapper around IEnumerable. It's actually not stepping in an array at all. It just looks like it. Incrementally doing create count number, then the enumerable next, and then if it has next to the current one for the current one, return it. It is infinitely more flexible and is the underlying magic that makes all of LINQ work, but yes, slower than just actively stepping through an array. Okay. As soon as you invoke any LINQ on something, you are doing secretly the same for each does. I do like using LINQ. I do like using it to make the methods smaller. It's nice when the methods are smaller, as long as they're still readable. All right, so for this one, I think we just want the note. But I think if I put the note up there with just the value, it's not going to update it. It has to update it. So this might be another tangent here. Ooh, I was gifted a Japanese whiskey and an Irish whiskey as well. The Japanese whiskey is very light in color and in palate. A little smoky though, and the Irish whiskey is scrumptious. But tonight I'm drinking American iced tea from a British establishment called Burger King. That's left over from my trip home yesterday because I drank too much the night before of many different things. Not that much, but stay up till 5:30, and then the next, and I was like, I need protein and fat in my belly, so I got a big burger from Burger King, and it was way too big, and I felt gross. An app? Really? A Chat GPT app? You don't say. Chat GPT app. Is this it? Is this the official? It's made by Angelo Kaja. For the... That's neat. That's not probably it, though. My guess is none of these are it. Chat GPT for desktop. Is it by a trustworthy... My concern is that if you use it through an untrustworthy source, they might be scraping what you type and using it for nefarious purposes. I will stick with the web thing for now, but I am eager for future use cases. All right, so all right, potential demo, or not demo, tangent time. Let's figure this one out. Okay, so I know I want to. Let's start by just putting it to the blackboard. So I'm gonna say main blackboard dot add note, and it's going to be a note that says we'll have to create the note, so we're going to say new note, and then notify note is going to be true, and the whole game time now thing I think I can probably remove, because I think I just want all of them to just have a game time thing they call from, rather than having to pass it back and forth. And I'm going to move this to another private void on the player called update stats to blackboard, and actually I don't need to do that. All right, so we're gonna do one var new note equals new blackboard. Whoops. New blackboard note, and this is going to be the object ID, or game ID rather, and game ID of the player, and then the subject is going to be likability, and then that's it, and we're going to add that, but the value is going to be, where's our value? It should be in the note. Why didn't I see it here? New note dot value. That's right. Value game stat is going to be, hello, Jeremy Burt. How are you? I know I can view the source code, I just don't do that. I don't know how. I wouldn't know how to start viewing the source code, nor would I know how to read it or to understand if it does what I think it does or doesn't do, or skims data or something. But I'm sure there will be some very nice ones I can pay for at some point that are going to be trustworthy, I suppose. But I'm actually fine with the web thing for now. It's not. It works well. Anyways, so new note's going to be the value game stat. That's what we care about here. We're going to give the game stat is going to be our thing. So we're going to say stats dot get, and it's going to be UID. I don't know the UID, so we're going to say properties dot stats dot it's not listed here. Dot likability. Nope, nope, nope. Interesting. Did my properties not get updated? They should have automatically been updated. Let's see. Properties. Like, I can format this. This is auto-generated code. And to format it, you just go like that. Like ability. It's not there. That's interesting. It's supposed to be automatic. I don't know why it wasn't. Okay. Property code. Export now. Yes. That'll be a bug to fix too, because I may have broken it. I don't know if likability is a word. Is likability a word? Probably is. Could be a typo. I can't spell, you know. Like. Huh. Sense of. Nope. Interesting. Why isn't my property code getting my new ones? Another tangent. Property code. Find export now. Export property code. What does it do? Name of the script properties. Blah, blah, blah. Get all that. Stuff. First or default. Okay. Found property script. Yes. New script. New path. Replace it. Okay. Script content equals build script content. There we go. We're adding the quest stuff later. We haven't done that yet. I still need to do that. But the stats should be property code stats types. All stat array select object type distinct to list. So this is where it's happening with the types, and I wonder and then the code itself goes through each type and gets each one of those of that type and then spits out its junk. Okay, so I wonder if it's just not being called. It should be being called. I mean, it's definitely being called because it rewrote the damn thing. Find assets where T is stat. So we can replicate this right here. And we have likability. Is that how you spell likability? Likability. Ability. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Likability. Or did I just... Alternative spelling. Likability. All right, whatever. Fine, I'll change it. We can change it just by changing the name of the thing here. It will change everything, and the UID stays the same. So since we use UID, but this just why it's doing this is also doing the property code. It's supposed to have done the property code at the same time. See right here, it did the property code, and this is quest demo stats. It should show up in my property code. Properties. Like, it's because I have this. Oh, it's because I have that. Huh. For some reason, either I keep clicking it or something, but these keep getting clicked and really throwing me for a loop. This has been happening all day. Anyway, so it's working. Tangent over. Go back to where we were. All right, here we were. Stats dot quest demo stats dot likability UID. So we're getting the likability. Yeah. And we're going to do that there. And we'll do private void add stat note. And we'll do that. Whoops. We'll do that here, but we're going to do string UID, and we'll pass in this as the string UID or string name or subject. Yeah, string subject and string UID. There we go. So we need two things. All right, so we're going to do this twice. Add stat note, and it's going to be likability. And I'll spell it right this time. And just going to copy this for now. And then we'll do it once more for sense of urgency. And sense of urgency UID. And you know, I could make this I could do this sense of urgency to object name, not object type, object name. That way, if I do change the name in the future, it'll get updated there. There we go. Okay, so that should add these two notes, and we should see it up on the blackboard. And let's just confirm that's the case. It was basically a typo. If something's an alternate spelling, like, you know, mono behavior being an alternate spelling of the obviously correct way of spelling it that doesn't have a U, or color, you know, people say color with the U. Ha ha ha. All right. So now it should be there. Let's see in our blackboard, which is now our main blackboard. We have our likability, sense of urgency. Should have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. We do. And this is the game ID of the player. That's something that, I mean, since I've got set up so where, you know, in a situation where maybe I don't know which player is which ID because they might come and go, so they're just a randomly generated GUID. But you could set these up for the puppy thing. I actually specified the puppy is called puppy for the puppy quest. So we have those now, which is great. Let's get them spitting out here so that we can just see what they do. This should update. Well, it might not. Yeah. So there's one thing. There's two things I want to check. I want to check to see if this are constantly being updated, so that once I have this reference, if I just always say final stat, I get the final stat. So let's do that up here in this little text area. I'm just throwing a whole bunch of stuff. Whoops, whole bunch of stuff up here. And we'll say party gold, and we'll duplicate this, and we're gonna say call this likability, and duplicate that. Call this sense of urgency, and bring it down. I know I could use a grid, but I don't like those for some reason. And we have that. We have this, and we're gonna call it likability. And we'll do a dash, and sense of urgency, we'll do the same thing, sense of urgency, and we will remove the script here, but we will figure out where that was, and we'll call this a new script, UI blackboard value game stat. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, let me throw it on both of these real quick. And oh, interesting. What was I doing? What was I doing? All right, so okay. And okay, so we're overriding this export, this text thing. So text subject Blackboard note value int. So we're going to do Blackboard note dot value game stat dot final stat, and that should do it if everything is set up the way I hope it's set up. Because value this readout thing, it's a Blackboard follower, which means it automatically follows the Blackboard. And let's see, it will. We are overriding the update text. We're not using the event in this context, although maybe we should. But so update text, we're overriding that, and when we receive a change, if it's a topic and subject we care about, then it will be that. Now, here's the problem. The problem is that we have 4 different ones, so this is not going to work. Because we have 4 different things. Oh, that's because I'm doing it wrong. Alright, I'm doing it wrong. This is a party stat. This is not a... America is taking over the world. More than it already has. So no, these aren't stats that are on the player. These are going to be stats on the party. So I kind of just effed up. It's fine. We can redo it really easily, but let's just do that now because we have party stats. We just don't need these here. So let's make this back to 1. We have party stats are right here. So we're going to add likability, and we're going to add sense of urgency right there. All right, so now we'll get those in our party stats. They'll be listed out here. And that's right, because the quest is a party quest. And so the quote-unquote owner of the quest is this object right here. This I have stats add object. So it should update those. And so this is where we'll do our little code. So let me go back to the player here, and we'll just copy these. And we don't need that. So where's my party stats? Update Blackboard. Where does this get called from? Whenever it adds gold, it updates platform cache stats Blackboard. Is that the only time it does? Do we have an up? Do we have a start? We have a start. We have a start. All right, starting stats. Okay, so we're gonna do this in a coroutine. If for those of you who are watching the Game Dev Show, you may have heard, I believe, Dave talking about this use of a coroutine on the last Game Dev Show. So in our start, we might not yet have the blame Blackboard available on start. We should on start, but if it's the very first frame, we don't. So we're going to do start Well, we're going to do, okay, first we're going to private IE numerator, I think. IE numerator. Star coroutine. How do you start coroutine? I hate this. Maybe I just do this. Tap. Nope. Okay. Private. Private. Was it IE numerator? I guess it's this, and I'm not sure what it's looking for there. Can I do nothing? Add party stats. Whoops. And then we will do this here, and we will say if blackboard equals null, or while, I guess, while blackboard equals null, yield return null, I think. Yield return null, I think. And then while it's not null, we will then do add stats to readouts to blackboard. And that is okay. And stats should be called stats. It is. If we keep our standardized use cases, then it should be good. And we should be good. I believe this all works. We can do something fancy with this. I've been doing this object initializer. Okay, we'll do it like that. That's nice. And we can ignore that. All right, so we should be good if we do start coroutine, add party stats. I think that'll work. Let's find out. Oh, before we do that, the object name is not going to be this. I believe it's supposed to be party. Let's see. Add starring stats. Yes, it's just party. So we aren't going to do this fancy trick, although that is a fancy trick. But we'll do party. It's going to be party likability in party, sense of urgency, UID. And actually, this is what we'll do. We will do that trick, but we will do it like this, dot object name. There we go. So instead, we don't need the UID anymore. Or we do need the UID still, though, huh? Okay, undo. I was doing it in the wrong spot. So this is the subject. It's the topic that we will... There we go. The topic, party. All right, party subject will be the object name. Value will be, or the UID that we need here will be that in order to get the UID so we can add that. Okay, that should work. We'll find out. Knock on wood. 18th time's charm. Press play. No errors. That's nice. Let's look at the blackboard. Blackboard. Where are you, blackboard? Right here. Oh, nope, not there. Right here. Okay. Party, likability, sense of urgency. Boom, boom. They're both there. They both have values. We are not getting them out here yet. So let's see why we're not getting anything printed out here. UI blackboard. Because we didn't type these in. So this is going to be party. And the subject's going to be likability. And text. I don't think we have to assign that. Remove. And this is going to be party and sense of urgency. It should be 100 on each. It's 0 on each. I wonder if it's because they are not set dirty. So maybe they didn't up update, or we might not be doing the update call on them. Let's see. Party stats. Yeah, we're probably not doing their tick. Oh, yep. So we don't have tick going on here, so we need to do the tick. It's not being called. So we have two options. One is we could do a tick and just always have it update. Yeah, we need that. We need to, for the automatic, we need it to automatically do its stuff. So private void update date, and we're just gonna go tick for this actually. And the tick, not sticky note, tick. How come? Wait a minute. That's why. All right, tick is going to do for each of our stat in stats, stat.tick, stats list. Actually, no, stats.tick. Because stats.tick will do tick actions, which says for each item in the list, do tick actions. And the tick actions on a game stat are all the actions it does to, if it's dirty, update its value. And it should start out as dirty, I believe. Let's find out. Nope. We have any issues down here? Nope. Nope. Okay. Maybe we just need to set them dirty. Let's see. Set stats dirty. List stats list. This is on the party stats. Okay, so we'll just say stat list dot set dirty. Set dirty. Isn't it set dirty? Yeah. This is erroneous, I believe. Okay, so stats.set dirty. We're actually just going to do this. Right here, or add starting stats, gain stat, cache stats, set them dirty. I swear they're supposed to start out as dirty, but maybe not. I'm actually amazed when people can say a large sequence of words that make sense without messing up, because I always mess up my longer sequences of words. Uh-oh. Oh, this is good. Get other levels. Let's just copy it. Player get other. This is why I'm going to make a class that has all of these ready to go, because copying, pasting, and making people do this, maybe it helps with whatever, but where's party quests? Where's our quests? Don't we have a quests? No. Party stats. We need a reference to our party quests. I guess I separated those for some reason. I did. Quest demo data. Quest demo data. I don't have that yet. All right. So private quest demo data, quest demo data, and on start, quest demo data, and then get other levels is going to be quest demo data quests party quests get modification levels. All right, so that should give us the modification levels required to do the computations automatically on the stats. There might be some other methods I need to fill out before it'll work. We'll find out in a second. Well, there we go. We found out. Took longer than a second. Game quest list. What's going on here? What's this? Value cannot be null? Interesting. I guess I'm passing in a null value, and because we do have that option, don't we? No, we don't, unless all of these are not, or one of these is null. So I guess we could do this. Actually, for this, we're not going to need that anymore. But maybe that will fix this issue. Maybe. I've got some friends in Hawaii right now, and holy cow, it's warmer there than it is here. Nope. Huh. Well, what the heck's null? 201. Modification levels. That should not be null. Add range. List modification levels. All right, well, let's just see. Okay, let's just spit out this a different way. We're going to do another one like this and say make this a for each. No, not that. For each. Nope. All right, whatever. All right. Var quest equals index or list index. All right, and then debug.log quest dot name, object name, levels are null question mark, and quest dot modification levels equals null. Let's just see. Sorry, I missed my mute button. I did lean back though, so maybe that muted a little bit of my cough. Speaking of coffee, that's probably too late for coffee. All right. It's null. What is null? Quest push the buttons levels are null. Interesting. I wonder if it's just because of that. Let's press play again. Nope. Okay. Why would push the buttons not have levels? It's got them right here. So maybe I just need to click those. I mean, I can just update the code, but I feel like it shouldn't be null. Yet it is. Push the buttons. Quest push buttons. Levels are null. Alright, let's do something real quick here. I just want to see if this is happening for all of them. Or if it's just this one. I hope it's happening for all of them. Because it's not supposed to be happening at all. So if it's happening for all of them, then it's probably just a bug in that one method. Nope. Doesn't seem like it. It just says only the push the buttons ones are null. But it's only getting those ones. When do we... Let's see. This happens on the update tick, tick actions, yada yada yada. Recompute, game stat. For each one, tick actions. So it is trying to recompute a stat. And then it's gained the other levels from the parent, but it's only getting the ones from... Well, it's only getting... It's doing it 4 times, which tells me... I don't know why it's doing it 4 times, actually. Was it only 4 times? I was letting it play for a while, right? But it's also, look at this. It's doing it before the puppy even received. So I think it's just doing it too early, is all. Because the puppy hadn't even received the quest event push the buttons. So my guess is this is happening too fast, and I need to implement the whole is set up mumbo jumbo. Party, where'd it go? Party stats. Get other levels. All right, so this is happening too soon. That's all. So we just need a simple check like this. Private bool is set up equals false. And then we will change our tick and say if not is set up, return. And then in our little coroutine, we will say is set up equals true, and look at all it's set up actions. Since it's doing more than it was before, we'll call it appropriate things. We won't call it inappropriate names or try to hurt its feelings. It's still calling it. Why is it still calling it? if it's not is set up, return. And it starts out as false, just to make sure it starts out as false, and it sets it up only there. All right, well then I guess, well, guess we'll just have to account for it and see what happens. If modification, or if list index dot modification levels equals null, then continue. And just as a thing, levels aren't null for list index dot object name. We should see some of those. Now, I am not sure why this is 4 times, unless it's happening from, but it wasn't happening from the players, the 4 players, which is what my first guess was, because it's 4 times. But I don't know. Interesting. Let's see what happens when we... Yes, give me the quest. Sorry it's so laggy. And we clean up demo scene eventually. There's the dog, by the way. And in just a few seconds, it will die. It's going to be very sad. It's dead. I took too long. See how it fell over? Dead. Okay, so I'm going to go collect the body. The puppy's dead. We see that in the console. Now I'm going to go back to the quest giver. I'm bad. So now I've failed. And these are still both 0. Alright. And nothing happened. Okay, I guess... Okay, the problem is I wanna see this actually spit out something. I want to see those get updated. I know. It is a poor pupper. Quest demo party stats. Set dirty. We do call stats set dirty. It should be working. I would think that I would have set dirty here. Oh, but I don't need it because it's not doing anything special. Alright, so I'm going to do something else then. I'm going to try a different tactic here to figure out what the hell's going on. In our update, there it is. We will do a thing. We're going to say debug.log final value of likability is properties dot is going to be is var likability is, I spelled it wrong again, like ability equals stats dot get properties dot stats dot quest demo stats dot likability UID. And so we'll say likability dot final stat, or final stat. Let's just see what's going on. Is it even possible to do an Unreal version of game modules? The short answer is nope, nope, nope. He isn't. I don't think he is. Actually, Oliver, are you? I don't think you are. I think I would know that. How Unreal is very different than Unity when it comes to editor scripting, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. Do any of you fine folks know what it's like to make editor scripts in... okay, so we got the value. We have the value. It does seem to be updating. It's just not updating in the print there, so maybe it's working just fine. Give me this quest. Let's go get the dog. This time we will get it before it dies. Good for us. It's very laggy. We're happy for you. Great. And likability is still 100. Okay, well. Oh, because look. No, that's push the buttons. This should go. This should go up and down. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do a change here. I'm gonna, well, I should have done sense of urgency, because sense of urgency should be, sense of urgency should be different. 110. It should be 110 because we have it in progress, so we don't have to do the whole saving the puppy thing. Yeah, I think the Unreal editor stuff is... I don't even know if people there want stuff like this. Do they? I have no idea what they want over there. They have blueprints and everything's different. Plus, the audience there is unfortunately smaller. Okay, so sense of urgency there. Let's just make sure we have the quest. Figure out what's going on here. Quest demo day. Play, party. Push the buttons. Oh, because we don't have it yet. Okay, let's go get it. We just have to talk to this character and say, yes, give me the quest. Okay, so it's now there. We have the quest. It's in progress. Up here, the stats, the main stats. We saw, if we collapse this, we saw that we got the puppy received the event. Alright. So the only other thing is I can think here. This is where we should do the set dirty. Alright. So game quest add or game quest receive transfer is where we need to set dirty. What's set stats last object? Redo this. Alright. Why do we call it this? Set stats last object? Oh, because it's the last. I think We can just go straight to this. Okay, so this isn't being called because of that null check. So we're just going to get rid of it. We're not even going to call that. We're going to say, what was it on the list? It was set affected stats dirty. That wasn't it. Was it? Yes. Object. Oh, on the game quest list. Okay. What are we passing? Okay. We'll set that to null, and we'll say so it's either going to pass in one quest, game quest, or none. And if it passes none, we'll just do it on all. So we'll say if object equals null, then we'll do something. Otherwise, we will do this. We'll say object equals a game quest object, and that means object dot set. Oh yeah, that's why I was getting confused. I was like, why the hell's it not working? Or maybe I copied this over. Yeah, maybe I did that. Let's see. Let's see what I'm thinking here. What was I thinking here? Owner. It's gonna be uppercase owner now. Owner. Not even going to be returned. All right. Game quest doesn't have a directly affects. Should. It does. Why can't I access it? It's public. Directly affects. Typed correctly. Once I cast this as a game quest, it should be able to get everything on the game quest class, right? Oh, I'm not familiar with C. Nobody's familiar with C. There's like 3 people in the world familiar with C. Maybe 2. One might be sick. Why can't object access the thing? Let's ask our new friend, chat.openai. Okay, we're going to ask our new friend, Unity C#. Set the stage here. It seems that after casting object as game quest, I'm unable to access the methods, the public methods in the game quest class. Why is that? Woo. All right. Make sure that's actually an instance of game quest. It's not an instance of a different one. They're public. Yep. I'm doing the correct spelling. Yep. Is it overridden in a subclass? I don't think so. I mean, I guess it is. What's going on here? I have quests now. Quest. I see. We'll just do. I don't. New quest. It doesn't matter to. Can that? Oh, come on. I just want to see if I can access it. All right. All right. So I can access it if I do that, but I can't access it if I'm doing that. Why? All right. Let's just change this then. Can I change it, or is this something I'm going to run into an issue with? We'll find out. Game quest. Okay, we're going to do... The owner also has to be an I have stats. So if owner is I have stats, or if it is not, then return. Because we can't do anything. In fact, we should even do that up here because that's that. So then I have stats is the owner. And that doesn't... Why can't I get... If I cast it, I would think that I would be able to do that. Okay, so I have stats owner equals owner as I have stats. How about that? Okay. I can do that. Let's see. What's this? It's saying var. Okay. Possible null reference exception. That is fine. We'll also say then if owner equals null, then return. What's this saying? It's the same in the end. Okay. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. All right. So That's dirty. Object. We'll return out there. We don't need. Okay. Okay. So if it's null, then we'll do something. Otherwise, we'll do stats owner, stats dirty, all the stuff that this object, this game quest directly affects. And then while we're here, we might as well do game quest just to make that explicit. And then if it's null, then for each var quest in list, then we will do quest directly affects. Okay. Yep. Okay. And then we'll return. Now, where do we use this? Sets last object. We're not going to do that anymore. That makes no sense, I think. So let's just kind of get rid of it and see what happens. Ooh, wow, there's a lot of errors now. What are we missing here? Haha, see? That's why. I'm going to need some help with that one, I think. All right, so what we are going to do is we've already set the owner and we're receiving it. So if we're receiving it, we're the owner. Receiver. New owner's not. I have quests receiver. So cast as receiver there. Okay. And the other place is here. And we don't need that. Okay. And this is where we add it. We're saying it's dirty on the new object. And when we receive a transfer, we're saying it's dirty. And when we transfer out, we need to set it to dirty as well. We'll do that here. And game quest dot directly affects. That's just in case when we transfer it out, it changes our stats. All right. All right, now the question I have is, what was the one that it was? This one and this one. So I need to use this one instead of this one. Alright, so it's a game quest and we want it to be able to be null. We can't make it null, so we'll ignore that part. So if owner is not I have stats, then we return stats owner equals owners I have stats. Object directly affects. But what we're going to do is then we're going to play the same trick where we see game quest equals object as game quest. And that did not work either, because I didn't change that. All right, there we go. Maybe that will work. Hey. debug this out. Game quest dot object name should have updated game quest dot directly effects dot count stats on the owner. What did we call the owner? Stats owner dot name or something. Get owner name. All right. All right. So that might work. Maybe. Let's find out. All right. We will find out. Okay. I don't see any haze. We're getting that still. That's good. And oops. Let's take the quest. I don't see any hay there. It should have given me a hay. Because I add the quest. Alright. So, it didn't say hay. Why not? Maybe owner is not I have stats? Let's find out. We'll do debug.log, and then we'll do oops game quest dot object name is not, wait, that's not what I'm looking for. We're saying owner game quest object name owner is not I have stats. All right. Now we want to see an oops or a hey. And it should happen when we get the quest. And we get the quest when we click that button after talking to the green cylinder or capsule. Hey, there is an oops. Oops, push the button. Owner's not I have stats. Okay, that's going to be the same issue then because they are the same entity. Rescue the puppy. Owner is not I have stats. All right. That is helpful. That tells me that the party... Where is the party again? The one that has the party quests. This needs to be I have stats. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. So, the expectation is that the same thing that has the quest list also has the stats list, but here I've separated it into two different things. Can I do that? Well, can I do it? Can I just call the other thing? Oh, that's a lot of things to implement. I guess this is a good call out for me to remember that all of this should be over there. So the same owner has to own both, which is logical. I don't know what's going on down there. All right, so we put those. Now we've got multiple versions of things, so we have to combine them. I'm gonna end up redoing all this anyways, so if you're thinking, wait, this is a very messy demo scene, then yes, it is, because it's not done yet. It's going to be redone in some way, shape, or form. So, all right, we'll put this in our update as well. We need to using static in Infinity PBR modules.main blackboard. And what's this? Object ID. Okay. We should be good there. All right, so now we have to stats owner set stats dirty. Just make sure that we did that. We did not. Look at that. We did not. Thought we did. Maybe we did it somewhere else. All right, stats dot set dirty. Now I'll just set them all dirty. Yes. So we have an issue. I have stats. Set stats dirty is giving me a list. I don't really want it to be a list. I want it to just be a UID or nothing. But oh, and then the stat dirty. Huh, that's confusing. Okay. So what I really want over here is to... I see. So we're passing this list in. Okay, never mind. This is right. Okay. We're passing this list in and on our player here. We're going to say for each var stat in stat list stat dot, well, if we have it, if not, try, or stats dot try get stat dot uid out var found, then continue. So if we don't have the stat, we're going to continue. Otherwise, we're going to say found dot set dirty, and that should be good. Okay. So this is basically saying take all the ones in that list the directly affects list that comes here. Try to get it from our stats list. If we don't have the stat, then there's nothing we can do. Otherwise, set it dirty. Okay. Okay. This just reinforces that I need a standard player class that people like, you know, game modules player that you can inherit your player from that just has all this stuff set up, because writing it over and over and over doesn't make sense. Owner is not I have stats. No reference. All right. Oh, the other thing, of course. I now need to remove this. We should put the starting stats up there, though. So we got gold. experience, sense of urgency, and likability. Okay, then remove that component. Okay, that might change things. I don't think that'll change something. It might. Oh, it did. Look at that. Okay, oops. Good. That's fine. Let's just see in a second. It shouldn't have been oops, I don't think, but let's see if this one's oops as well. Oops, rescue the puppy. Owner is not I have stats. Why not? Who is the owner? How about this? Let's do this. God damn, this casting stuff is throwing me for a loop. Oh, I already have this. Okay, well. Okay, let's try again. The casting stuff is I went on a generics rampage last week, and it's a relatively tough subject, and I'm understanding it to some degree, but the casting is now I'm not clear on how to cast properly, because it seems like there's multiple ways to cast, but then some of them there's an oops, that's not good. Some of them don't seem to give me the access to the methods, and others do. Yeah, so still it says the owner doesn't have stats, is not I have stats. Who is the owner of this game quest list? Quest demo data. Party quests. Quest demo data is I have stats. Am I not saying the owner? I probably, this is another thing. The owners, I feel like there's got to be a way to do this, but I haven't thought about it yet. Private void set ownership. The lists have to be told that their owners are this. And it's actually in start. We can do it in start, not update. So let's see. Party quests set owner equals this, and stats dot set owner is this, and that should be it. Come on. No Emmys. No Emmys. Interesting. This is definitely different than it was before. I don't see an oops. Instead, we just see this. And again, modification levels is null. Why is this null? this should not be null, because we are getting modification levels and... Oh. That's why. Mother effer. Where does this come from? Okay. So it comes from one of those. Get modification level. These are supposed to go to the same damn thing. Because in this context, there's only one. All right. Well, that. All right. Var new list equals modification levels. No, equals new list modification level and new list dot add modification level return new list return to sender return new list. Okay, we can do this and then we can just return that. Okay, in this format. Whoops, if I can type. Okay, so this should give us just a list of that, and it looks like this is redundant. That's cool. That's interesting. How do you fix that? Use target typed new? Interesting. So I guess you could do this. That's good to know. Should remember that for later. All right, let's see if this works now. It's got to work eventually, right? I mean, if I just keep typing numbers until the universe explodes, until the multiverse explodes, you know? Especially if time isn't even a thing. If that's just like a thing we create, so time doesn't even exist, then it's got to have already happened. What? All right. Do I see any of my fun words? I don't see any of my fun words. Okay. To do. Owner is null false. Okay. The method is not implemented. Get owner name. Who's trying to get the owner name? Me. I'm trying to get the owner name. Okay. Owner name is going to be return party quest demo data. Okay. That was my doing in my debug log, not anything else. Okay. Push the button should have updated with 0 stats. That is true. Alright, good. Let's see this one. Yes, give me the quest. Ah, there we go. That was it. Alright, so now it's working. See that magic? Once it actually works, it works. So now sense of urgency is 110 because we have the quest. And so now we're super urgent. Let's go get the dog before it dies. Oh, the puppy died already. Shoot. Alright, well, that's shame on us. It was really hard. And now sense of urgency is back to 100. No, it's not back to 100. So we're going to have to do another thing where we update the thing. But hi, Corey and Tech Dave. All right. Tech Dave, you're right. Good night is the way. Good night indeed. to you and to everybody else because it's working, but it still needs a little bit more work. I think the final sense of urgency didn't go back down. So either it's not getting the correct modifier level on the group quest, rescue the puppy, because once it's succeeded or failed, it should be one of these, and this would no longer have an impact. It would be one of these that would have the impact. So I guess what we can do is, okay, maybe I'm not saying goodbye yet. Let's just do one other thing. One other thing. We'll do like ability, get like ability, and then the final value for likability is not spelled right. Ability is likability final stat. Okay. So we that whole set dirty bit, they don't update themselves unless they're dirty. So somewhere along the line they have to be set dirty. So I think when the quest changes states here, I need to set them dirty again. I think that's what's going on. Because I'm pretty sure likability won't change even when I rescue the lovely puppy. Yes, give me the quest. Sense of urgency is high. Whoa, my gosh. Can't play this. Can't play this game. It's too laggy. Oh my lord. Lord almighty. The puppy's gonna be dead. Alright. Set succeeded. Good, we did rescue the puppy this time. I'm so happy for you. Okay. Sense of urgency. Yeah, okay. So I think on state change here, it needs to do a thing. So I'm going to do a few things. And I said a keyword just now on state change. I think so we're like the game quest. Game step or quest step dot in progress. So we're gonna look for these somewhere in here. There's a state change. Complete the set status right here. So if we aren't sending events or if the status did not change, then we are done. That's not true. So we're gonna do a couple things. We'll say if that, then we are done. So if it didn't change, then we are done. But we do need to set dirty right here. So all right, no change, return. Okay, so now we need to set these dirty. So we need to say we have updated the status, so we need to set dirty. It is used in the context of quests. Okay. So what we can do then is say parent or not parent list game quest list dot set dirty. What were we doing? This one. Can't even remember now where I was saying everything dirty. Isn't that funny? Hey. Apparently wasn't here. Oh. Game quest list. Hey. I was doing it here, and the thing was stats owner. Okay, so game quest list let's just bring this over here. Game quest is here. Set affected stats dirty. See, I need to get rid of set dirty in this context. Set dirty is fine, but that means like set this thing dirty. But we want set affected stats dirty for the owner. So stats ownership game cost. Oh, the object is the game quest. Duh. Okay. So this. Okay. So this should set the affected stats dirty of this object. Get the owner there. Okay. We'll see. We will see. Have you noticed that the longer you use Unity before quitting, it gets slower and slower to do its reloads? I've noticed that. By the end of the day, it gets very long. Alright, so they're both 100. Alright, I'm going to get the quest. Now, sense of urgency is 110. I'm going to rescue this cute puppy. And now, clear him out. 110 and 100. This should go down to, or they should just flip. Likability is 110 and sense of urgency is still 110. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay. So what's happening here is it's saying, okay, let's redo it, but let's redo it this one. We also have to redo the ones from the one it came from. So, we also have to do it on temp status. Oh, shoot. How are we going to do that? Let's see. So this is going to take only directly effects, and that's going to take our current modification level. So okay. So before we change the status, we need to call it, and then after. So the temp status is temporary. The new status is that. So if what we can do is say, okay, if new status does not equal status or equals status, then we're just going to return, right? Yeah. We don't even need to do that. That was just in the wrong order. Okay. So if there's no change, then return. And then this means there is a change. So the first thing is do this for the set affected stats for the current current status. And then we will make the new status. And we can just actually delete this, and then make it for the, okay, and then set the new status and set affected stats for that. All right. And then if we aren't sending events, we're done. Otherwise, send the events. Okay. That's better. Now it should work. Poor garbage collection. What do you mean? For the thing, it's actually because of this editor window. If you're talking about the lagginess, if is that what you're talking about, Corey? I don't know when you posted the comment, but if you are, it's because of this editor window. This editor window happens to be very laggy right now. I think I'm doing the set dirty wrong on it on the data, but if I leave it, then it should be much smoother. All right. Yes, give me the quest. Save the puppy. Clear that out. There we go. I'm so happy for you. So now I have sense of urgency is back to 1. Likability is 110. Perfect. And let's just make sure that we get the failed version as well, where likability goes down because you were too slow to save the puppy. Oh, I see what you mean. Got it. Okay, now we have to sit here and wait for this puppy to die. Even though our sense of urgency is higher right now, we're still waiting for the puppy to die. We are a monster. Do you like how when we're letting the puppy die, I say we? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be the monster alone. All right. It's really hard to find. There you go. So now sense of urgency is back to 100 and likability is 90. So that is the long example of how this will work in the end, where a quest can affect your stats. And where once it's set up properly, it's all automagical. Yeah, I think I need to redo. I've got a lot of demo scenes for this. I think I need to just redo the demo scene and make one like demo scene that does all of these and use like pretty graphics or something. All right, I'm going to call it there and chillax before tomorrow's return to the day job. I have a new goal though. My new goal is to block off my calendar from 4 p.m. on every day. Somebody booked me a 4 p.m. meeting on Wednesday. Ugh, God. And stick to it and tell people, ask before booking, so that my goal is to finish work at 4 p.m. every day. Because I was thinking about it. It's been a busy few months, and we've got new people on the team that are supposed to be taking over all the stuff that's making me busy, or a lot of it. So I should be calming down there. And the truth is, I work from home. If I went to the office, I would spend an hour and a half minimum on the train, not to mention the 30 minutes to and from. So it would be an hour to get there. And then I would eat lunch there, and the food's good. And it would take at least half an hour. When I'm at home, I eat, sitting at my desk, it takes me like 3 minutes. And I just eat a protein bar or something. So they get an hour and a half extra work from me every day because I'm not on the train and going to the office and then eating lunch. And I do go for a walk every day. That's about an hour. So if we do the math, if I start at 8, sometimes I start earlier, and I end at 4, that's 8 hours minus 1 hour for my walk is 7 hours. If I go into the office, I would go in at some point during the day, not 8 because my meetings are there. I'd go in, spend an hour and a half eating lunch and traveling, and then I'd leave at 4 in order to beat the traffic home in the train and not have to be sardined on the train, and to make sure I got home at a reasonable hour, because now I'm spending an hour and a half of my own time coming back, and I wouldn't even get home until 5:30. So they're getting more time out of me. And so my thinking is I need to stop working till 5. You know what I mean? They can pay me more, I guess, but they're not going to do that. it's clear at this point. So there you go. Anyways, that's my goal. 4 o'clock, be done with it, take a walk in the afternoon, then 5 o'clock come back from the walk and start working on this amazing stuff and do more mid-week live streams that the folks over in Europe will never be able to join because it's too late, except for this one Irish guy I know who doesn't sleep normal schedules. So there you go. That is the thing. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you do like the game modules and you haven't purchased it, just go over to infinitypbr.com or the asset store, click the See All Assets button, and search for it on the asset store, which takes forever to load. This is preaching to the choir probably. It's 2023 now. Websites do not take this long to load. There's no website that's a normal adult website. I said that wrong. That's a normal professional website that takes that long to load. How many seconds was that? Many seconds. And then it tells me this publisher has no assets yet. So clearly it's having trouble loading itself internally as well. So let's do that again. And it did all this UTM stuff, so they're trying to track me. Now it's saying that I've got no assets, and that's just, we know that's wrong. How frustrating, right? Now I'm just trying to go to the home page with no parameters, just the home page. Let's just open a new window. Go there. My game is less laggy than this. And my game was laggy because I had the editor window up. Alright. Clearly the asset store is just busted right now. I'm disappointed. Oh, there it is. It's just super slow. Game modules. There it is. I don't know what's going on. It's slow. It's so slow. Yeah, so if I were you, I would have also stopped even looking and gone off and done something else because this is too slow and boring to purchase. So I don't know why it's so slow. Like, it's generally slow, but this is slower than normal. Yeah. Alright. Well, oh, now it's loading. Now it's loading. Are they going to tell me I have assets again now? Nope. Nope. It's not. It's just going to lag. Alright, well, that's it then. Have a great night, everybody. And I'll see you later.